Yeah. Ooh. Welcome in to the PHNX Daily Bet Show. I'm your host, Shane Evenbach, joined occasionally on Fridays by the one, the only, the Bobbert Brock. There you go.
You kind of sounded like an Austrian fitness instructor. Like, yeah.
Let's go. Arr. That's like a pirate.
Let's do this.
Yeah. What do you call a pirate that rides a Peloton?
What do you call a pirate?
I don't know. I thought you were going to have a witty response. That's what you get with the PHNX Daily Bet Show. You get jokes that aren't finished.
Yeah.
And you get bets that
finish them.
That we finish. And they'll come to fruition.
No, finish the pirate joke. Peloton pirate joke. The chat, do that.
Yeah, chat, that's your job. That's not ours. Our job is to win you some money, and we do that courtesy of BetMGM, which we will be getting all of our odds from for today. Guys, there's just a flurry of things you can bet on for the NFL preseason games that are this weekend. We got the Cardinals tonight, right?
That's right. 7 o'clock NFL Network, Arizona Cardinals versus the bullet that they dodged in Sean Payton in the Denver Broncos.
Yeah. Michael Wilson going for 8 catches and 280 yards tonight. You can't get those odds at BetMGM, but you can get everything else. Anything from an Adam Thielen over touchdowns to a Dallas Goedert under receiving yards to everything in between. Thankful for our friends at BetMGM, because when you sign up using that bonus code PHNX, not only are you going to get one hell of a good time, but you're also going to get a risk-free $1,000 bet. Basically, all you got to do is sign up using that bonus code PHNX. There's a few different offers depending on where you live. Before our Arizona audience, place your first bet offer and receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if it loses. Check out the show notes for full details, and now you can listen to me talk about the disclaimer. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus to wager. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-522-4700 Nevada. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help Michigan. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in D.C., Kansas, Nevada, New York, or Ontario. Yeah. We're doing the NFC East today. Happy Division Preview Day. Are you excited about this division?
I am. It's a division that did not finish under 500. Not a single team in the NFC East last year.
Some may say elite.
Do you believe that?
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's not fraudulent. Certainly, there's talent on at least the top 2 teams in the division. And then the Giants came out of nowhere. Brian Dable, leader of men with the G-Men. And I expect them to, be close, but are they going to win as many close games and pull them out and be able to finish over 500? A little questionable. But I will say, as far as the Philadelphia Eagles, a little down on them from a betting standpoint.
Yeah. I mean, once you're in the Super Bowl, everybody knows the Super Bowl hangover is real. But your odds always balloon, so this is a good way to kind of take advantage of that. I'm not, my bets will say otherwise, but I'm definitely skeptical about the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, yeah?
Just because of Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore leaving and just that kind of corpse of a head coach and Mike McCarthy.
Large corpse of a head coach and Mike McCarthy. Yeah, we'll see how that works. But
he's calling the offensive plays.
Yeah.
It's a tough offense to F with and mess up.
Yeah. And Dak Prescott, we'll get into that. Let's just talk about the Cowboys right now.
Yeah, how about them Cowboys?
So you're pretty high on the Cowboys, you can say.
Yeah, I'm high as far as them taking care of business within the division outside of Philly. I think that they should beat up on Washington. They should beat up on the Giants.
You think that last year's Giants run was a little bit fraudulent?
Yeah, a little bit. I think just ahead of schedule. And I'm not a Danny Dimes believer. I wouldn't say fraudulent. I think they took care of business. They won the games that they needed to win. And then once they met a team that was a better team, they got beat up. They got blown out in the playoffs by the Eagles. But I like Dallas. I like even Mike McCarthy. It's kind of like he can't screw it up that bad, can he? And Dak Prescott can sleepwalk himself to over 4K if he stays healthy. He's got a wide array of receivers, of course. CeeDee Lamb. They added Brandon Cooks. I think that they've really got stronger defensively. I do like the return of Dan Quinn. Like that side of the football, I think could turn into be their strength.
Yeah, it from an opportunistic defense to probably just a solid one this year. And the return of Michael Gallup fully healthy for a full year should be good as well. I'm pretty high on him. And
Tony Pollard.
Yeah, and
good.
We love Tony Pollard. And probably, if we're being honest, probably Zeke as well once the season starts. That's just how it's going to go. This team didn't make any huge splashes. Like, as you said, Brandon Cooks. Isn't it crazy Brandon Cooks is only like 29?
That is
insane.
Wild. Been around the block.
Yeah, somebody who's not 29 is Stephon Gilmore, who they added, though, who's still a very, very good corner.
Yeah. He's probably their best, like, pound-for-pound corner, like, coverage-wise. Less feast or famine, more like you can rely on him snapping. And then, like, Trayvon Diggs is a home run hitter. Like, I'm not going to take that away from him.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not. And getting LVE, Leighton Vander Esch, back, and obviously you can't discount anything that Micah Parsons does.
What about Mazzie Smith?
What about him?
Up front, some beef for Dallas?
I do love beef.
Yeah.
I do love beef. They do have a lot of beef up front. They have a lot of large guys.
They say Micah Parsons? You said Micah Parsons.
Yeah, they have the best edge rushers, I think, in the NFL. Well, DeMarcus Lawrence and him. The Cowboys are going to Cowboy. Is Dak going to Dak, though? That's the biggest question. Is Dak going to throw 900 interceptions again? I don't think so.
He said he's throwing under 10.
I don't think so. I don't think he's gonna.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, that's because it's going to be a little bit more conservative offense, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that to take kind of the win from the sales that they had under Kellen Moore, where they were in the top 5 consistently. That's where the biggest question is. But I still think it's enough that they're not going to F it up.
Yeah. Let's talk about the New York Football Giants now. The New York Football Giants, who had a really fun defense last year. And because of who? Friend of the program?
The guy I was fortunate enough to introduce you to in the wee hours of the morning, Wink Martindale, the defensive coordinator for the New York Giants.
Can we tell that story real fast?
Absolutely.
So we're at the NFL Combine this past year, and we're out in the town pretty late, and there's the entire NFL descends on Indy.
Yep.
So you see a lot of people, and I'd been very vocal of my love for Wink Martindale's defense, and how creative they get. They,
some exotic looks.
Yeah, they line up four guys stacked on top of each other, and they all just kind of scram.
Right.
Big fan of that. And Bo and I have had a couple drinks.
We'd seen Wink in Mobile too at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, and I was like, look at Wink.
Yeah, you were fanboying over Wink Martindale, and that somehow it resonated with me. And even though I was a couple pops in, adult beverages in.
I was about 8 soda pops in.
Yeah. And our Uber was waiting outside. We walked past Wink Martindale, and I just say, hey, Wink.
And I'm already outside.
Yeah. I was like, hold on a second. I got to introduce you to my buddy. So I bring Shane back in. I say, Wink, this is my buddy Shane. And then I leave.
Yeah.
And then there's just Shane sitting there like, hey, Wink.
Yeah, I said I'm a big fan of his defense, and I walked out, and then I said, did you introduce yourself? Did you know him? And he was like, no, I just said I had somebody to introduce. So yeah, that was our running with friend of the program, Wink Martindale.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
All right, well, let's talk about the actual team. Not turnover, really, just a bunch of additions and some guys they brought back. The only really noticeable loss for this Giants team is Julian Love, the safety, who was pretty big in terms of playing time, not really huge in impact-wise, but he's in Seattle now. And that's really it. They get that Saquon deal done. They bring in Darren Waller, and they keep a couple other pieces, but not really much. You bring in Cardinals legend Paris Campbell, and
should be Cardinals legend John Michael Schmitz at the center position.
They had a really good draft, actually. I would say I was a big fan of their draft.
Kid from Tennessee, Wyatt, right?
Yeah, Jalen Hyatt, who is apparently just burning people in practice. That will remain to be seen with Danny Dimes at the helm. But I'm excited to watch this team again. They could have the most exciting 8-9 season of all time. Like, genuinely could. Do you have high hopes for them?
No.
Oh, wow.
Pretty mid hopes. I mean, what you described, they're an electric 8-9. Sure. I can envision that. Or 9-8. Or like they did 9-7-1. But no, I'm with Daniel Dimes as your quarterback, you're leading the offense. I'm never gonna buy that.
Yeah, I'm just glad that Isaiah Hodgins is listed as wide receiver 1 still.
Nice.
That's elite. I'm a big Isaiah Hodgins.
He had a good come out season yesterday or last season.
Yeah, yesterday he was good too.
Yeah, he was solid.
Everything that
camp,
I've heard
in East Rutherford. Yeah, good for him.
Yeah. Also, they brought in Cole Beasley, which is kind of sneaky fun. No,
I think at this stage in his career.
Yeah, stage in his life as well. Okay,
like that's a pretty sad receiving core.
They're all just like Mina Kimes put it really well last year. She said all of these guys are fine if they had like one guy to bump them all down one rung, and they don't though. Mm-hmm. So hope maybe Jalen Hyatt is that, but they have like 6 guys who would be really good wide receiver 3s.
Yeah,
Isaiah Hodgins would be a great wide receiver 3. Darius Slayton, great wide receiver 3. Paris Campbell, good wide receiver 3. Wan'Dale Robinson, good wide receiver 3. Jalen Hyatt, probably good wide receiver 3, and Sterling Shepard. And Jamison Crowder and Cole Beasley. Like, they're just a team of wide receiver 3s. And then they have Darren Waller, who might help in terms of that. But yeah, and just their defense should be fun again. I love Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau, Bobby Okereke. Like, they got some guys.
They paid some money for Okereke, didn't they?
Yeah.
Okay. Comes over from Indy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good. Like, they're gonna win football games with defense and running the football.
Yeah.
So
boring.
Cool.
Washington Commanders. Let's talk about something cool. They're not very cool.
I gotta
Is
check.
Chase Young gonna play football again?
Seems like it. He got his 5th-year option declined, but they could also franchise tag him if he balls out this year, and it's pretty much minimal, right? It's about the same price what it would have cost to pick up his 5th. But if I'm gonna look at the odds when they come out to open the season as far as first coach fired, because I think Ron Rivera could be in that conversation.
Riverboat Ron?
Yeah.
Hitting the boat quick.
Just new ownership there.
Casino on that river.
They're gonna want to change things up, kind of set their own tone. And the things that are in place in Washington, I'm not buying it. Like, obviously a lot of draft capital invested in that defense. And then that offense, you like some of the playmakers. Jahan Dotson, good rookie year last year. You like Scary Terry McLaurin.
They have a great three receiving core.
You like Brian Robinson out of Bama, but I don't like Sam Howell.
No, I don't even like him a lot at all.
No,
I hate him. I don't want to watch him play football. Frankly, I'd rather see Jacoby Brissett take snaps.
But what is that? How much confidence does that inspire? So Washington, I think they take a step back. Surprisingly, they took a step in the wrong direction at the quarterback position by letting Carson Wentz and Taylor Heineke exit that franchise. Which
Taylor
is
Heineke
shocking.
might have like the weakest arm in the NFL.
Yeah,
but
Colt McCoy has something to say about that.
As a starting quarterback last year, he might have had the weakest arm in the NFL. But I still loved him. Sam Howell, you know what Sam Howell looks like? A budget version of Drake May.
Yeah.
And that makes me angry. I hate you, Sam Howell.
like snack size Drake May? Yeah, in every single way, size, arm strength.
Kmart brand. Their defense.
If you just took Drake May and you took the talent and then also just the size.
And maybe punched him a couple times and left him on the side of the road, you'd get Sam Howell. Yeah, their defense is, they have a really, really good defensive line. We know this. Jonathan Allen is just this behemoth of a man who's been wrecking defenses since the 80s. Montez Sweat is an elite edge rusher who came on late. Deron Payne is really good. And obviously Chase Young, if he can stay healthy. But when you're starting linebacker is Cody Barton, who couldn't even start for the Seahawks linebacking core. It's not very good.
Are they not gonna? The kid they took out of Kentucky last year, he's not gonna take a jump. Is it Jamin Davis?
That's not a real person. Oh, no. Jamin Davis. Yeah, he's listed as their sub linebacker or the same linebacker. So
not good. I know a thing or two about linebackers that busted in the draft. First rounder style.
Shout out Steve Keim. Also, shout out the Philadelphia Eagles for giving the Arizona Cardinals their head coach.
That's right.
A lot of turnover on this team.
A lot.
From the Super Bowl.
Including that coaching staff.
Including Cardinals legend Zach Pascal.
And Kazir White.
Yeah. Can't forget about him.
Yeah.
Their secondary is going to look a lot different.
Secondary, the back end.
Yeah, the back
Marcus
end.
Epps goes to Vegas.
CJ Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah, he goes to Detroit. You've got the two mainstays on the outside.
James Bradbury.
And
what's his face?
Slay.
Yeah.
But then brand new linebackers. White goes to AZ, and then you've got TJ Edwards in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So they already are bringing guys in off the street in like Miles Jack. That's not a good sign.
No.
I heard they're sniffing around Isaiah Simmons. They were sniffing around Budda Baker.
Yeah.
Both don't seem to be available.
What the Miles Jack signing says to me is that they just think Nakobe Dean's going to be good. Which
really?
He should.
Why do you get that sense?
Because they signed Miles Jack not going for a big splash who should be able to start at linebacker. I think they think that Nakobe Dean's going to be that starting middle of the field guy. Hassan Reddick's obviously coming back.
It's borderline elite.
Yeah, I would say he is elite.
Yeah.
And then obviously this defensive line is just freaky. Fletcher Cox, and if Jalen Carter can come on and they don't even need another freak showing from Jordan Davis, for everyone else. Brandon Graham's still there, Josh Sweat. Like, that's just, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're throwing out something named Reed Blankenship at free safety. I don't know what that is.
I've seen actually good reports about Reed Blankenship. I have.
You've seen reviews for a pillow company called Blankenship, not a safety.
It's a mail service where they
they ship blankets. I like
Netflix.
I obviously loved what they did in the draft, getting
all of the Georgian cast off.
Yeah, getting Jalen Carter, but then also Keely Ringo, who I think
stinks.
No, you know what? He's the opposite of what like your Anthony Richardson's happened. Like when people see all this tape and like start frothing from the mouth because of a guy that can throw an 80-yard ball. Like they just see it on tape. They're like, oh, I want this guy. He's going to be, he's going to get drafted 4th overall. Keely Ringo's the opposite. You see a couple clips of him getting burned because he's a little bit slower and has bigger size.
But that's his main asset is speed.
Well, no, his main asset is his size. And I think people underestimate that. So I think they had a couple gems fall to them, and they're just going to keep building Georgia's defense in Philly. So I think they're going to be fine. I don't think they're going to be as good as last year, but I mean, they figured out some stuff last year on the offensive side of the ball that got really dangerous. So
yeah,
I'm not worried about their offense whatsoever. They have the best player in the history of modern sports in the quarterback sneak that you just cannot stop.
Right.
And they still have a buzzsaw.
1 yard.
Yeah.
I joke, but like Brian Johnson, he's going to be a lot of what Shane Steichen is. So he takes over that side of the ball. Mm-hmm. But then they bring in Sean Desai, who got a bunch of interviews this year. Like, I think it's going to be a lot like Tennessee was a couple of years ago. They made the switch at both coordinator spots. It's going to be a little rocky out of the gates. They're integrating a bunch of parts defensively. I think that they can certainly find their stride down the stretch. Are they going to be able to make up for it enough to hit like the win totals? Like 11.5 is their win total to win the division. Are they going to be able to keep pace with Dallas? It's going to be tight, but I think it's going to be a sweat.
Yeah, I'm going to say no on the win total only because of one player, DeAndre Swift, the worst player in the NFL. We can talk about that in a sec, but let's go ahead and look at my props for the NFC East. No DeAndre Swift here, but tons of rushing props. How about Jalen Hurts over 10.5 rushing touchdowns? It felt like every single game.
That's a lot.
I know, but it was a lot until he had 13 last year. It felt like every single game he was in the end zone, and I think it's just going to happen
twice in the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, more and more come next year. Just because of, well, actually, there is DeAndre Swift in this prop because I don't believe in him. And he's listed as their RB1. I do believe in Rashad Penny, and I do believe in the ways they could score, but the main way they're going to be scoring is with Jalen Hurts' legs, I think. When they're going to take away the stuff through the air, the easiest way to get in the end zone is just shove his massive 565 squatting legs and get it over the goal line. Speaking of massive 565 squatting legs, Saquon Barkley, holy hell, that man has some tree trunks. And 7.5 rushing touchdowns is pretty disrespectful. Just stay healthy, and he gets this. He sleepwalks to this. Not really anything else needed there. And then Dak Prescott. The dude threw a ton of interceptions last year. Mm-hmm. But 2 years ago, he had like some of the least turnover-worthy passes in the NFL per pass, and I think he gets back to that. Even with Kellen Moore gone, I don't think he throws as many interceptions as he did last year. 12.5 is so many picks. So give me the under on that.
Not bad.
Okay.
I would probably stay away from the 12.5.
Well, stop it.
And 10.5 is a lot. It's a lot of rushing touchdowns.
You're a lot.
But
you're too much.
I like to go for more layups. Let's take a look at my prop bets for the upcoming NFL season in the NFC East. I've got a measly 2. I didn't know we were doing 3. Dak Prescott. I do think he can get easily to 4,000 passing yards. And then scary Terry McLaurin. He has gone already 3 out of the 4 seasons in the NFL over he's had at least 5 receiving touchdowns in his career. This is 4.5. He's going over 4.5 receiving touchdowns.
Yeah, that's a crazy line. And I think that just reflects on how
bad quarterback play,
how ass Sam Howell is.
I think he's going to Bugs Bunny and he's going to throw it to himself.
Dude, I used to play this Flash game that was Bugs Bunny versus whoever he would play. And Dude, you could either run or pass. And run, you would obviously just run with Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
But the passing plays, you would just like pick a spot and you would throw it up and you have to run. One of the funnest games I've ever played.
Was it an egg flash game? I don't know. Well, let's take a look at as far as like the division and the win totals.
You can play a little bit of egg flash games at work. You can play a little bit of it. Let's go ahead and look at Bo's forecast for the NFC East. You dirty little egg.
I'm looking for value here because Philly is minus, I think, 110 to win the division. I'm going to go with the Cowboys at plus 170. I'm under on the win total for the Eagles at 11.5. It's too high for me, even though they have 14 last year. Mm-hmm. And then the Cowboys, I'll go over 10.5 wins. I think they sneak their way to 12, maybe 13 wins this year.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I agree with that for the most part, and that reflects in this forecast for the NFC East. Cowboys Eagles 1-2 exact forecast. I like the Cowboys winning the division, but I also think the Eagles are going to be close for them. So why not get this exact forecast at plus 230 at BetMGM? Also the Mandos. Part of the last year as the Commanders, so I'm going to take their win total over. That's not the reason why I'm taking their win total over. I hate their quarterback play, but 6.5 is crazy. They're not playing a hard schedule this year. They're in the NFC East, and I know it was not a joke last year, but they always play these guys tough. I still remember the game where 2 years ago where they were playing the Steelers in the last game of the season, and this team just wins games weirdly. And 6.5, I can get that at almost even money. I'm taking the over on that, and then the Cowboys as well as you. I'm taking the 9.5 though at minus 165, just because 11's a lot of games to win, especially if you're a Kellen Moore-less offense. So that's what I like there.
There's no way that they have as much success as they had last year, though. The division division,
not a chance. I bet that the Cowboys, or I bet that the Cowboys and the Eagles.
Don't you think, like from a betting standpoint, betting against kind of their demise or them, all the success they had last year is easy this year?
Like fading them?
Yeah.
I think so, and I think you can get some good value. And as I said, one of the best things to bet on is a Super Bowl hangover. And I don't think we see a drastic one, but they had some cocktails last night, and maybe some of them were too sugary. Go get an IV. Have you ever had an IV? For a hangover?
Yes.
Really?
During my bachelor party, it saved my life.
Did it actually?
Yeah, it did. It got me up and going, and then.
Did you feel like not hungover or just a little bit less?
Well enough to go get a little hair of the dog, and then I was back in the game.
See, I don't need that. You just get a little hair of the dog as soon as you wake up.
but I could barely move in my hotel room bed.
Oh, it sounds like you drank too much.
I did. So I overserved myself.
Anything else before we get out of here, Bo Brock?
No, I mean, I think that the NFC East is the most favorable division, but there's a lot of money to be made. We've got NFC West, AFC West, and AFC North left, right?
It sounds right.
Yeah.
It sounds right. Got some fun ones. I'm looking forward to the AFC North, and I'm really looking forward to the NFC West because we can talk about the Cardinals and the over win total that we're going to smash, right, Bo?
Probably TBD on that one.
Guys, it's been a pleasure. As always, we're live every Monday through Friday right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel at noonish for now. And every single Friday, we're going to be bringing you a division preview until the NFL season starts. We are getting so close. Week 1 of NFL preseason kicks off. Or it already kicked off yesterday, but the Cardinals preseason kicks off.
That's right.
Tonight. We'll see you guys on Monday. But until then, you can follow me on Twitter at Shane Deef. You can follow Bo on Twitter at Bo Brock. Follow the show on Twitter at PHNX_bets. Follow PHNX_sports across all socials. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And we'll see you guys on Monday at noonish. But until then, peace, love, and Sam Howell, I hate you.